Hey everybody, welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is the place for tips, tools, and strategies, everything you need to take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Today is Tuesday. The digital diva is here in the house, Terry Johnson, online from New York City, right here, right now. So, we want to welcome everybody who's watching live and on the replay, but we want you to get a pen and paper so you can take some really good notes, or perhaps it's your iPad or a tablet or something. Just take some notes and then apply what you're going to learn today, because things are moving and changing in the world of social media and digital marketing. And we have Miss Terry Johnson online right here. She's going to help us figure it all out. So without further ado, Terry Johnson, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting week of talking about marketing and marketing strategy. And that's why you're here. I hope, that's why you're here, because you want to keep up with the latest strategies and trends and things that you need to do, especially because this is a new year and you want to grow. Everybody wants to do better. You want to put your benchmarks out and say, well, I want to do better than I did last week, or what, we all want better, and there's nothing wrong with that. So here's where we're going to talk about the thing that you need to know right now, things you need to work on, and that's what we're going to do today. And I see Mark is here. Hi, Mark.
Hey, Mark. Who is this Terry Johnson that people are always talking about? Yep, let's find out. And once you know, you're going to keep coming back here.
We'll see that. Thank you, Mark. That is a part of what we're going to talk about today. So the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about trends and, things we need to focus on, because as Fran said, things are always changing. That's the state of the world. And if you've paid attention in the last few weeks, things are really changing. It's mind dizzying, spinning. I don't know where to look, because here comes this, that, and the other. But here we're going to talk about the things that you need to remember in order to grow your business online. And I said before, why do you want to be here? It's the marketplace of attention. Social media online right now is the marketplace of attention. We have to accept that. And there are platforms and places and things that are doing things that we don't like, but where are your people? Where are they? If they're here, you need to be there, because you are a business trying to attract new people and also keep the ones that you have, the customers, the audience that you have now. There's a lot of juggling balls in the air, and sometimes you're going to drop them, and that's okay too. It's okay not to be perfect. It's okay to not know what to do, because you either have people that are going to tell you and talk about it, which is what we do here, or they're going to be tools that you can use that's going to help you and guide you. So, the last few years we've been talking about AI tools. They're just exploding everywhere. You just pick the one you want, or it's going to be a point now where you don't even have to pick anything. You can go to your iPhone, or you go to your Android, or whatever phone. They're going to have something in there that you're going to ask, hey, something, and the AI will respond in kind. So it's to the point where you're not even going to have to know, well, should I use ChatGPT? Should I use DeepSeek? We've talked about those things. It's not going to be, well, ChatGPT. It's just going to be, you're just going to ask things. You're just going to be curious, and you're just going to either use your device and or either one of your voice assistants that you talk to in the air, and all that thing's going to be great. Okay, so that's where we are now. Good morning, Dr. Taji. Hey, welcome. So I'm calling this today serve a purpose. Serve a purpose. And I was looking at this in a content fashion, but then I was listening to a podcast yesterday and I was like, okay, I can't do the content part of it. I got to go backwards and talk about branding. And we've talked about branding. So, branding is going to be the thing going forward 2025 and on that's going to make us stand out. Okay, because I was gonna say, oh, content, you need to, talk about content and standing out of the noise online because everybody's online. And I was like, no, let me take it a step back and talk about branding. Because I've said this before and I'm going to, repeat myself or refresh our memory. Branding is not logos, colors, fonts, how pretty it looks. And we talked about this a lot. Branding is going to be who you are, what you stand for, your values, your purpose. What is your purpose? You have to know that before you get the attention of the people that you want to get the attention. If they're hanging out on Facebook or they're hanging out on Pinterest or wherever they are, because if we look at it straight in a way of content, you're saying, well, I'm posting content, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but nobody sees it. And I'm like, okay, we got to take it back because it means messaging is off and messaging is branding. So you have to know who you are first. Who you are. Not I need to get customers. Everybody's my customer. All that stuff doesn't work. You have to
So,
have a purpose by knowing who you are.
so I heard someone say your brand is what people say about you when you're not around.
That's what it is. That's what it is. We've talked about this online. I remember we talked about Nike, McDonald's, Coca-Cola. We might have talked about Starbucks a few times. And all of these things, all of these brands are at a point where if you see their logo, you know what it's about. Like the Starbucks, you see celebrity. They're always taking pictures of celebrities with that cup with the lady with the green lady mermaid on it. Or you see people walking around with the cup and you think, oh, it's the logo. It's not the logo. It's just the fact that their brand messaging is so on point, and also longevity
Right.
to the point where they don't have to toot their horn, which is what Fran is saying about when they're not there. There's the brand there.
What you stand for shows up. It, people know you by what you do, right? So your brand is what people know about you.
Yes.
Now, you don't want to have one of them brands like, "Ooh, girl, don't call him."
Oh yeah, speaking of that, there's a thing on some women are online. I think there's a website or somewhere where they talk about don't date this guy or something. I forgot what it's called. Dr. Tachi might know because this is like on TikTok or whatever. Like they have a thing like don't date this guy. Like they put their dating experience on a person. I don't think they name them or whatever, but there's something about where they go, don't date this person or stay away, and they all have the stories of. That's kind of branding where it is messaging of don't do this. So it can be do this or don't do this. See, it's going to be one or the other.
It's what you're known for.
Yes.
That's your brand.
Yes. And
TJ is known for social media and digital marketing strategies and going deep on the data to help us understand some things. Dr. Tachi is known for media. Ask Mark Ward. He's known for bringing some insights with your lifestyle if you need some help
get you to
orchestrating.
think about things.
Yeah. So when you think about Starbucks, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
there's a whole thing that when you eye that cup, there's
You
a
know
whole
what it
thing
you
behind.
know what it is.
Yeah, behind the cup
Mm-hmm.
is the experience, is the this, it's the that, it's the whatever.
And see, with Starbucks, here's another point. People that don't buy Starbucks know what it is. Cause the logo, it doesn't say Starbucks on the cup.
It does not.
Does Nike say Nike? It used to, but now it's that
The
swoosh.
swoosh.
McDonald's, the golden arches. They can go without the word McDonald's because it's global.
And they
See?
built that brand over time.
Yes, over time. So a lot of this is you need time to build it up to get to the point where when somebody sees your logo, they know what it is. It can speak to people without speaking, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When you see it, you know it. That is experience over time and building a brand and having the right messaging. Okay, so that's on a corporate level, but how do we apply this to small business? And we want to be seen online, so that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. I see some comments, so if you want to
I
get into the
think they
comments.
are having conversation
Oh,
over
they
here
have a
about
conversation. Oh,
blooming
okay.
fries and blooming
About the
onions and
McDonald's.
yeah, they're talking
Okay.
about blooming onions. I haven't had one of them in a while.
Wow. Wow.
I
Those are
might
good.
have to get one.
Those are good.
And
Okay, so I want to talk about touch a little bit on branding and but the messaging part of it, and then we'll get into a little bit about serving a purpose. And this is I'm calling this one of my trends only because I haven't seen anybody talk about it online as a trend. There is talk because like I said, I heard a podcast the other day where they were talking about branding. And like, ooh, that's one of my topics. I love hearing about branding and marketing and data and stuff like that. And this person tied it in with the human behavior twist, which is another thing I like to focus on because who's buying your stuff? Who's buying your products and your services? Not bots, humans. So you got to know human behavior. And then human behavior does not stay the same. It changes because society changes, because the world changes, and you can see what's going on now. Things change. So we got to keep up. All right. So I just jotted down some things that I was thinking while I was listening to the podcast. So it was like the brand is who you are and what you're about. So the branding is all about messaging, not your logo, brand, colors, fonts, etc. Branding is your strategy. Marketing is a tool of the branding strategy. Because people think, well, I'm just going to do marketing. And like I said, when it doesn't work, what do? I'm like, well, you got to take it back. And what is your purpose? What is your purpose leads to your messaging, leads to your strategy, leads to your content. Your content puts them on your customer journey with your business or your brand to where you're walking in partnership hand in hand with them. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. Um, all right, let me get to that. So there's a part about human attention, and you have to pay attention to how people behave. There's purchase patterns, their shopping habits, retail data, all of that stuff gets mixed. It's just a big gumbo. It's everything just throws up in there, and you're like, well, how do I make this work? And there's a way to make it work. There's a way to make it work. So I'm just making sure I got all my, because I didn't have a chance to organize it the way I wanted because I heard this podcast and things was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Um, so think about your brand strategy. It's the foundation that helps potential customers look at your business and then know your business. And like Fran was saying that, it stands in the room when you're not there. Now, we were talking about corporations, but on a smaller scale, it's all branding. It
mm-hmm.
doesn't have to be you're the golden arches and you're making, we would like to, you're making trillions of dollars or whatever your market cap is. But if you're a small business, a solopreneur, entrepreneur, whatever, is still your branding. Because I always like to say breadcrumbs. That's how people find you. That's how you find, what, I forgot what story that they dropped breadcrumbs and found their way out of the forest. I'm thinking some story, but it's your path. It's how you get from A to B to C and get what you need to get done. But it's not content alone. It's not marketing strategy alone. It is branding, which is messaging, which is what is your purpose. A lot of businesses do not know their purpose. And they're out here in the woods, floundering around, don't have the breadcrumbs. Can't find their way out, getting mad with Instagram because Instagram won't show that stuff kind of chronologically. Or we were talking about the DEI stuff, which I see the Target boycott is working good for that. But some of my thought processes was like, you have to build a branding strategy to where you're not begging for customers not to leave you because of the control something outside of your control. And I want to relay that to social media and Meta and or whatever these platforms are doing that's outside of our control. We have to get to the point where, yes, we have to have own media where we do control it.
Right. So I heard Gary V. I was listening to Tea with Gary V yesterday.
I missed it. I got to go back and catch up on him.
Yeah, it was really good. He said, "You are the algorithm."
Yes, he said that before.
It's not.
And people get mad when he says that.
I know, right? I was like, "Oh, you get to go in there and decide what's going to come down the pike and what's going to be shown to you, what's going to be served up to you. You get to decide that. Don't be getting mad at the Instagram and TikTok and
that's right.
Everybody else, everybody is up in arms. I was like, oh, this.
They're mad because he's the truth teller. I'm just saying, he's the truth teller, and he knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about. And just an offside, like I see he always mentions that he gets comments about, oh, you're a rich boy, you grew up rich. He was like, nah, I didn't, I was poor. One room in Queens, da 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 da, like all these, people, he came from Russia, da da da. You're looking at the end result of hard work,
right?
And you could do that with the celebrity that's successful now, and they finally gotten their accolade that they were working so hard for, and they finally got it. And you're looking at, oh well, that person may have started out as a child, actor, singer, entertainer, whatever, working hard and building up, and you're seeing the end result. See? And you're saying, well, I can't do that. Well, yes, you can. It's a journey.
Because when you first start out the gate, you're not going to start out the gate doing what they were doing, because you don't have that kind of composition. You don't know what to do at that level.
A lot of it is talent, but a lot of it is hard work. I can transition to Michael Jordan. A lot of talent, but he wasn't really talented back when he was a kid. He had to do hard work when he was in high school.
Yeah, I think he got cut from a team, didn't he?
He got cut, and that motivated him to go out there, and it's in his story. They've got movies about him and everything. He's out there practicing in the dark, and the this and the that, to be Michael Jordan.
Right.
A little bit of talent, a lot of hard work. Or a lot of talent, but a lot of hard work to push it forward. We could look at a lot of, you could look at Kobe Bryant. You could look at a whole bunch of people who their story is, they had it, but it wasn't the thing that they rested on their laurels. There was a lot of hard work on the side that you didn't see.
Right. They talk about Steph Curry.
Yes.
And Steph Curry's really good. Mm-hmm. But Steph Curry's ankles were not that great when he started. He had to do some stuff to shore up his ankles so he could stay on the court.
Yes.
Oh, we don't talk about that. All the work he had to do.
They just see the end result. You could, and speaking of Steph, Steve Kerr. I remember Steve Kerr was on
Yes,
the Bulls. The 3-point man came through with the threes.
he hit the last shot for the
But
championship.
that was a talent. He had to work on that.
Yep,
He knew it was coming. He knew there's gonna be a game where we're gonna need this 3-pointer.
yep,
Well, let me get over there and practice this thing until my nose bleed or my eyes, but whatever. My feet bleed, whatever. Dancers, another thing about bleeding. Ballet dancers, their feet bleed. They dance and dance and dance. And a lot of people go, well, I'm not doing that. I don't want my feet to bleed. But they're driven by passion and they have talent and they work hard. See? That's what I mean. All right. So Dr. Tati has some comments. The breadcrumbs. That's what I was talking about. She said
for Hansel and
Hansel,
Gretel.
yeah. Hansel and
I'm
Gretel. That was just so was it breadcrumbs that got them out or they went in? I don't remember.
It was they were dropping crumbs to get up out of there.
Yes. A way out.
Yeah, that was it. They was trying to like, oh, we gotta go.
Yeah. Oh, Mark has a big comment.
Let's get Mark's little comment up. He says, so many spend endless hours wondering how it is possible that I became the stellar example of humanity that I am. But I simply don't have time to tell the story. It's a long one.
But see, that's where your serial content comes into, Mark. You could give us bite-sized piece, little, drips and drabs, short form.
And if you've never listened to Mark Ward, go check him out at Ask Mark Ward. He's got some very profound videos over there. I'm like, wow.
But see, and see, that reminds me of the Risa Tisa story. If you don't remember, it was the lady that got on TikTok and she had like 80 pieces of a story and people were so engrossed in it and everything. It was because if she told that story in 2 hours, would anybody pay attention?
Nope.
She was like 3 minutes here, a minute here, this and that, part 1, 2, 3, 4, which got people invested because part 1 was the hook of what?
Who the blank did I marry?
Yes. And you're like, okay. See, that's how it evolves. And hers was organically because she was like, hey, I got something to share because of this man. And I want to let other people know, don't get caught up like I did. Don't, the red flag, the this and that. So
right. Like,
that was a part of it. It serves a purpose. Content that serves a purpose will always hit with the right audience, but you got to go back, have the strategy, and you got to start with the branding and the messaging and the serving of a purpose. Knowing the purpose sustains you through this whole long journey of what happens.
Because you won't quit.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You're not going to quit if you know what your purpose is. So some of the brands, like we've been talking about Starbucks, they're not Dutch brothers. They're not. Mm-hmm. They have a whole different audience set, and their new commercial is interesting. Mm-hmm. Did you know that they just started doing commercials?
Really? I didn't know that.
Starbucks normally does not do a commercial. Now they are doing little short commercials about that is not my name, and they were writing on the cup and stuff, and you see the cup and you see them writing your name like welcome,
right? Right, because it's never right. It's never right unless you do it through the app.
And so if they write on the cup,
yeah.
And they're, the barista is just like, have a great day or something.
They're busy.
The barista is giving them a good take on the day. Enjoy your week.
Yes, little life quotes or something.
Yes, something to spark their day. But
yes.
But I was like, oh, so but there's this song playing and the thing that is not my name. But it was a good combination. and it ended up saying the Starbucks coffee company. What, and after the little commercial, I was like, Starbucks never does a commercial. Now they're doing little commercials now, but when they started out, they just showed up in people's stuff. They showed up with people drinking out the cup in a movie. I think I saw who's that actor? I can't remember his name, but he was in the movie and he was playing a guy that was um, differently abled,
Mm-hmm.
and he worked at a Starbucks in the movie. So Starbucks had like billing for,
And I remember a time in the movies where products and businesses were all generic. Like if they were drinking a soda or eating cereal or whatever, it would be a generic box. And then it got to the point where brands were like, oh, well, we can, for, whatever amount of dollars that they contribute or the, I'm not sure the payment structure, they put a Coke or Pepsi.
Yep.
Or the cereal is Wheaties or Rice Krispies or Frother, and you actually see it. There was a time where they didn't do that. It was just a box. It was a white box that said cereal.
Yeah, and now
Or the
you
cars. They do
yeah,
it with cars in the movies and TV shows.
now you see them. You see the vehicles. You see what type of everything now.
Brandon. Because in the real world, we're not eating cereal out of white box that said cereal. It said something.
It did.
Rice Krispies, Frosted Flakes, corn. It says Kellogg cornflakes or whatever. It doesn't say white box of cereal or the can of coffee that's white and it says coffee. That we don't do that anymore because it's like in the real world, like and that was a little bit distracting to
It
have it like
was.
that
Yeah.
because it's
So,
not real world.
but the brand, and so talking about Starbucks, contrast that with Dutch Brothers is the thing for Gen Z and them.
Oh, really? There you go.
They want the bros. I was like,
So here's another layer of why I talk about generations and each one, because that's sub strategy within your main branding strategy of okay. And this is, and in the podcast they were saying about, oh, that everybody's, everybody always says everybody's your customer, and it's not. It's really not. It's you have to niche it down to age groups or regional or local, or you have to know those things depending on who you're trying to reach, your target. Again, you got to know your purpose.
so the soup dude, the soup the soup guy in New York.
Oh, the soup Nazi.
Yeah, it's not gonna work in California because he ain't over here.
Oh, the
He's not
soup
gonna
Nazi. Every
advertise
time we
him.
bring the soup Nazi, I miss that guy. I miss that guy. He had great soup. Mm. But that would not work anywhere outside of New York. Only because of the attitude of it, the style of it. Like who waits, in 20-degree weather for soup? Well, I did.
Because
I'll tell the
was
story.
that soup was that good that
It
they
was so
get
good. It made there was an episode of Seinfeld. That's how good it was.
right.
And remember, Seinfeld show was about little lifestyle bits and pieces of this group of friends in New York and how things were in New York. But Seinfeld made it funny, relatable to people who did not live in New York, because
And
you could relate to it.
made people want to fly to New York to try the soup.
Yeah, they had, I don't know if they still do it, but they had Seinfeld tours because the little diner they went to, Tom's Diner, I think it was on Broadway, it's Upper West Side somewhere. But that they would show the outside of it, and people were like, "Oh, that's Tom's Diner." But then if you're not in New York, you're like, "I want to go to that diner." So I think they had tours. They had Sex in the City tours. They have all kind of tours, and they take people around. This is where they shot this, and this is where they shot there. Dr. Taji says that soup it was the best soup I've ever had, and I makes my own soup. I don't like canned soup, never have, but that soup, it was a lobster bisque. Okay,
And
that's
we
what
all
I
sitting
do.
there like, ooh, it ain't
That
lunchtime yet.
episode, if you've seen that episode, it's not made up. They exaggerated a bit with his like gruffness, but it's very no nonsense. If you know New York place, it's very no nonsense. There's no chit chat. There's no, what's your order? Da, 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 da. No, there's no time for that. So it was kind of like and you moved over and you just, but he wasn't as mean as that. They made it extra mean,
No soup
so.
for you.
And I heard that he did not like the Nazi part of the name, which I understand. But that was to sell. That's Hollywood. They embellish.
Yeah,
So,
they did. And then there was the
but
black and white cookie.
black and white cookie, the chocolate babka, those are all classic New York things. So, but he made them relatable to if you didn't live in New York. He made it funny and relatable, which is the key.
Right.
Because he was like, "Well, I'm from New York. I talk about New York things, but I can't go to." And Seinfeld was stand-up comedian, so he went to other places and learned how to make it work, which ties into the TV show. Again, branding, messaging, knowing your purpose. That's another good tie-in. So, because you're thinking like it's a show about New York. Why would I? I don't live there. Why would I want to watch it? Made it funny. It's still funny. It's on Netflix. I believe it's on Netflix now.
It's still, look, you can find Seinfeld somewhere.
It's still funny to
It
me.
is.
I know there's and I've seen that discussion online where a lot of younger Gen Zs, they're like they don't get it now. I'm like, okay, you don't get it because it wasn't on, they weren't born and stuff. But there's, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. That's another thing with TV shows like, the Game of Thrones or the Breaking Bad or the whatever the popular show at the time was. Everybody didn't get it, and that's okay. That's
No,
okay. That's content. There's something for you somewhere.
and they're
Seek it out.
like the thing you do. The guy, he made soup. He didn't think he was going to blow up overnight just because he made really good tasting soup. It's
And
probably his mom or grandma's recipe. Who
right, I think
knows?
I'm not sure where he was from. I'm trying to. I might be wrong. I'm not gonna say where he's from, but somebody came along who observed things about New York and said, "Hey, I like that. I can make that funny." And here we are talking about it so many years later. And I don't even remember how I went to get it. I don't know if I don't know if it was before the show or after. I can't remember. I just remember it was very cold.
And there was
And
a
then
long, I think he had lines before it went on
yeah.
Seinfeld.
Okay, so I think I went before the show. There were lines, and I've said this before. In New York, we do not like to wait in a line. If you see a line, there's a reason. There's a good reason why there's a line. And if it's a food place, I get it. I'm like, okay, I just know because we don't wait in line. We don't do that. So, and in the middle of winter, in the middle of January, I'm like, well, okay, I'm gonna get this soup. And it was a line. I'm like, and I'm on my lunch break. So I'm like, I don't have a lot of time. So, but yeah. But that's good content. That's realizing the purpose of what you're doing, seeing what it is, making it work, and then here we are talking about this later. So
So,
Seinfeld.
so if I make, we keep doing the cookie thing, but if I make really good cookies and people line up to get the cookies,
Yes, yes,
then that I'm serving a purpose. I
yes.
can't
So
have.
here's another thing. If you haven't heard of Levain, Levain Bakery, they have a cookie that people wait in the line. I've waited in the line for the cookie. It is a good cookie. It is a humongous cookie. It costs a lot, but it's like a big biscuit of a cookie. And people wait in line, and tourists come and they wait in line, and now they have more than one location. Um, but that is also, you have something that's good. People stand in line and they want it. Here's another example of something that's not so good. There's a cookie. Is it crumble? And
Yeah,
Dr. Tachi can tell. Yeah, okay. Is it cookie crumble or crumble or something?
Crumble. We have it here. It's called. There's a cookie company called Crumble.
Okay. So on TikTok, they have, the people that taste the cookie and they like it, but there's a whole bunch of rising videos where they don't like the cookie and it doesn't taste good. And they do TikToks on it or videos or whatever on it. How does that affect the brand Crumble? How does it affect them?
Well, if your main customers are still coming to you because they like what you are making, you keep making that same cookie. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because
No,
you
I'm
don't
I'm
know if
searching something while you're doing, because it just came to me. I wasn't going to talk about it, but
so
go
you
ahead. Go ahead.
don't know if the people who are on TikTok are talking about your cookie because it's a TikTok trend to do so, and or your cookies are, you don't know if the trend people on TikTok is causing a stir, and then you need to address that. But are those your actual customers? Are those the people who come and see you every morning to pick up a box of cookies on their way to work, to take to the job, to take to uh, wherever you're going?
Right. So, I mean, I just did a real quick search, and I see content from, Instagram and whatever, and they're like, this, this is good cooking. And the thing about Crumble is they will put out different variations, or because I haven't been, I just seen the videos that they put out different flavors or something, and they're supposed to
Yeah,
be big cookies or something.
the cookies are huge.
Mm-hmm.
And they have, you're right, they have different flavors, and you go in one day and you may not be able to get that cookie again for a week or so. So they switch up. They got a cookie of the week or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and the cookies are pretty big.
Right. But I've seen lots of videos that say the cookies don't taste great. So I'm like, this hype about the cookie because, oh, this flavor, that flavor, whatever. But you've got videos of people saying the cookie doesn't taste good. Um, I
But
want my cookies to taste good. Don't we say that here?
I needed to put some chocolate chip with some walnuts up in there. And I
Okay,
like an
so
old fashioned cookie.
so I did a crumble cookies taste bad search, and I didn't type in the taste bad, it popped up in Google for me. So there's a Reddit community, and they're all cookie crumbles have the same aftertaste, artificial flour smell. I don't understand the hype. Cookie crumbles are not good. Are crumble cookies overrated? Huge cookie crumble fan, but I think they taste something, if what it is. So it
And
goes
see,
in. Go ahead.
I'm thinking a lot of that is somebody just wanting to have something to say.
Okay, so just doing a real, just like a live. This is live, doing a quick test because I just remembered that how I found out about crumble cookies, that people saying it didn't taste good. So there's a whole subreddit on Reddit, Reddit is one of those places now where the conversation is happening. It used to be X, Twitter, but we've left that behind. So now conversations are happening on Threads and Reddit. And so when I search in Google, this is what I'm getting. So it says, huge crumble fan, but I think they taste bad. Um, so they said there are other crumble fans out there that adore the reviews, discourse, the surprise of new flavors each week, but are so disappointed each time. How are people rating them 10 out of 10s? Cheesecake Factory or McDonald's cookies are way more of a treat for me. Want to know if there are other fans that think the same. So, this is where we get the hype of, it has to taste good.
It really does.
Right. It says somebody said the flavors are fun to try, but there's never enough rich gourmet, decadent flavor, just sweetness. Everybody's saying that when I've heard is that nobody likes the taste of them. Why are you guys buying them? And here, Dr. Tati, let me bring up your comment. She says, I've heard they're not delicious. Yes, I think if you go to TikTok, and that's where I heard about it, was like these gigantic cookies that look good and they sound good, like, oh, Oreo something something, or this, that, and the other, or bacon, whatever, whatever. And then people biting the cookies and they make a sour face and they put the video on TikTok or shorts, or here it is, the Reddit community talking about crumble cookies. But
Yeah,
yet
and
they
see,
keep going.
but you don't want to be crumble with that type of brand, because the brand is not necessarily how your cookies are looking. It's what people are saying about the cookie after they tried it, right? I'm particular about cookies. So if I want a peanut butter cookie, I need to taste a lot of peanut butter and maybe a little bit of sugar. I don't want to taste a lot of sugar and a little bit of peanut butter.
Right.
So I've tried crumble. I've tried other cookies, and I'm still looking for a peanut butter cookie that's real, because my mom used to bake some at home or whatever, and it was like real peanut butter.
Right.
Um, but I don't know.
So that was just one of the things that came up for me. And I on the other side of that, I did a search for Levain cookies.
Dr. Tachi got a comment. She said McDonald's cookies are better than crumble. My God, today.
And this is one person in Reddit. So I'm gonna leave it. Yeah,
She
try it.
said there's a crumble nearby. I wonder if I should try it. Yeah, then report back, Dr. Tachi. We'll take your
Yeah,
report.
let us know. Let us know.
This is what we always say here. When we say the cookies must taste good, whatever you are putting out to the world, it better be good. Cookies,
Yeah.
whatever.
So I'm just, so on the opposite side of that, because I was talking about the Levain bakery. I think they send out, like, outside of New York. I think you can order on the website. So I did a real good, just a quick search, and I went to TripAdvisor, which, TripAdvisor, they, people who have visited or been on vacation somewhere, they will leave reviews. Somebody said October 2024, legit the best cookie I have ever had.
Shoot, if I'm looking at this cookie, I went to the website on my phone. That
Uh-huh.
cookie looks good.
It is good. And
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna tell you, there's lines. Like the flagship is Broadway and 72nd Street, I think. So, and there's one on like 74th, or there's one like a block over a few, and then there's another one, and then there's one in Harlem. But I went to the flagship store one, and there's a line, and I waited. I was like, oh, let me see.
Oh,
You know, the cookies
they
are good.
look nationwide shipping.
Yes. Now, I've heard somebody say online that they ordered and they weren't great, and I was like, well, I don't know, because I don't order. I go in and get the cookie, and they're huge. They're huge cookies. Like, they're just gigantic. Like, I can't eat the whole thing, and they cost a lot, because people are like, oh, I think it's like $5-6 for one but it's huge. It looks like a big scone biscuit. It's very big,
It does. And it's
and it's good.
thick.
It's good. So if you like, if you, it's not overly, it's not sweet, but it's good. I think the best one is the one with the walnut. So, but if you have a nut allergy, then you can't get that one. But I like them.
I'm gonna try one out just because you recommended it. Do you see how this
Right. But
works?
see, what I'm saying is if you order, I'm not sure of the ordering of it because I don't know how they're doing it. Like, are they flying it in the air? Like, you get it next day. I'm like, or do they have like a ghost kitchen in California? I want to know how they're doing it. So if any of you guys order it online, let me know because
It
I'm curious.
says
But
handmade daily in NYC since 1995. We
yes.
bake fresh and ship same day. So
Oh,
they arrive ready to enjoy
okay.
or
So
reheat for that gooey center.
so order. If you gonna get it the day that it's made, I would order it.
Right.
Because when I go and get it's like it's fresh baked. It's like they just made it. When I walk, if I wait in a line, it's sometimes I'm like I don't want to wait in a line, but a lot of times I have not waited. If I go to another location, I don't wait in a line. So I'm just curious if you ordered a cookie, let me know because they're saying they send it out same day.
Yep. And they have different bundles. New
Yes,
parents bundle,
yes,
cookies and coffee bundle.
yes. So
I'm
they
like,
have
what the? Oh, they
different.
got chocolate chip walnut.
That's the okay. So if you like, oh, I don't like a lot of nuts and things, but I like walnuts. And the cookies are more chocolate chip or chocolate than the nut part of it. So
This cookie looks good.
try it. Dr. Tachi says, wait, I just looked to see where it is. The crumble here is in the but I think that area is getting refreshed. Oh yeah, gentrified. Yeah, try the crumble and let me know. But I will always if I tell you about something and I've tried it. Like I've had it. Like I have it, I've done it. I've eaten it and I gave you my so I like the cookie. Me. If they're going to send them out fresh, I would say order. I don't know what is the minimum order, like a $5, $10 or whatever the minimum is for
4 cookies,
cookies.
$29.
Okay.
So if I'm paying $29 for 4 cookies, I will tell you what it's like when it gets
Yeah,
here.
they're like biscuits. They look like big chunks, like a big handmade biscuit. If you've seen a biscuit, not the biscuit out of a can and the little flat.
Yeah, like a
No, a
scone that you get,
handmade big gigantic. That's what they look like.
like a scone.
Bigger, yeah, just but not as flat. It's a mound. It's like
Yeah, like the
yeah.
scones are big. Like yeah.
It's a cookie that you could share with somebody. That's how big it is. I don't know any. Well, I have done it. I have eaten a whole cookie, and I was like, I can't do that anymore. So I usually do half or a fourth, or, whatever. And I'm
I'm
trying to
about ready
watch
to
my
find
food.
out. We shall see. So, Dr.
So,
Tachi, are you going? Are you going
Dr.
into
Tati
the
gonna
hood?
try to crumble
Is she gonna go undercover for us?
on the cover. But it is Levain Bakery is one of the things that tourists come and they try it, and then there's like the Dominic Ansel that made the cronut like 10 years ago that everybody went crazy for, which I have not done because that's another line. I would have to get up like 3 o'clock in the morning and go down all the way downtown and wait in line. I'm like, I'm just not in the mood. And then his bakery, Ansel Bakery, when he makes them fresh like the night before, and when they're out. Like he doesn't make it's a specialty item, so he doesn't make anymore. So you have to get down early and wait in line and get them before they sell out, and then try the next day. I'm just not in the mood for that yet, but I will try. Though those are some of the things that I'm like, okay, when I get a chance. It's not like on my top of my list, like, yeah. Okay, it's 30 degrees, 20 degrees. I don't want to go. I want to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, go all the way down to Soho, wait in line. I got to be in the mood. So this is so the cookie, the Levain cookie is expensive, but it is a treat and it is worth it. Try it once. If you don't like it, then you don't like it. That's good. That's cool. I have no issue with that. But just take a look online and see what people are saying. I was trying to see if they have a Reddit where they talk about, yeah, they do.
For Levain?
Let me see. Food NYC, Ask NYC. Yeah, there's one on 77th. I've been to that one. And again, you're going to see people that are going to go, it's not that, but yeah, so they're asking in Reddit, is it worth the hype? Okay. Yeah, everybody's saying they're delicious. Yes, try them. It's a one time thing. It's like you have to try it, and then if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
It's like Garrett popcorn.
Yes. Yeah. So it's just one of the things to try. So it just came in my mind. So you're getting to the branding part of it, the purpose, the serving a purpose, and that leads into growth and what you want to do online, because that's where we are with 2025. The ways and the means, things are changing, but I think we said earlier about was it Gary said about you are the algorithm,
Yep.
and that means that your interests, what you like. So it's a good thing and a bad thing, because it's good because okay, you got a chance, but the bad thing is you got to find your way out the forest. You got to find the needle in a haystack to find the right strategy, the right content that's going to hit with the audience. And then and I bring this up because this frustrates a lot of people. This is one of the frustrating things that I'm posting. I'm making content. I'm doing this, that, and the other, and it's not working. I was like, well, because you got to hit the right note. You got to find the needle. You got to, okay, this way, that way, that way. But there's lots of tools that help. That's why there's analytics. All these platforms have analytics that tell you what works and what doesn't. So you're going to have to test, you're going to have to throw it out, test it, throw it out, test it, and then see what works. Your analytics will tell you, is this working? Because it'll be like this, and some of them will tell you, and we talked about analytics, some of the platforms will tell you this is your best performing piece of content today, or this is your best performing piece of content in this time period, today, a week, 7 days, whatever you're looking for. But in order to get that data, you've got to throw things out and test on the water. You got to make content. You got to say, well, let me try this and let me try. There's a discouraging part of that where people stop because they want an instant gratification of, I made this one piece of content and I slaved over it. It took me a week. No, we're not in that spot anymore. You got your phone. You can do short form content. You can do a TikTok. You can do a reel. You can do a shorts. Just real record wherever you are in the moment. Make that content. You see a lot of people in their cars. Why do you think that works? Why do you think that works? I'm in my car. I pull out my phone and I say, blah, blah, blah. Risa Tisa was in our car. That works because there's a connection with the audience. There's a realness. This is not well, it could be a lot of it, I'm not saying it's truthful. Some people are out there to scam, but most of it is real, and I'm telling you a story, and this is me in my car because I just thought about it. But now some of them do put on and say, oh, I was in my car and I just thought to me. But you're gonna feel through that. You're gonna feel for the authentic message of it.
The message, yeah.
So
the authenticity of the message, and she was very authentic. She was like,
I got something to say. I'm driving. I'm in the car. I'm this. You see a lot of people in parking lots. in the car with the dog or the this or that. That's because it connects. You're looking at the person talk about something and you're like, what is this? What, and you catches the eye and you interest and you're caught. See? But where there's a set, I call it a production set. There's a time for that, but there's also in the moment time for I'm in my car, I'm walking the street, I'm this and that, I'm walking the dog, I'm doing the laundry, whatever. There's a reason why that content works because it's spur in the moment. I got to get this off my chest. I got to tell you about this right now. Blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Yep.
So that's why I'm saying you do both kinds of content. You do the in the moment, spur of the moment, my phone, this and that. And here's another trend. Well, I'm not sure if it's still a trend, but it was a trend to get ready with me on TikTok. All the women putting on makeup and not looking at the camera, putting on makeup and talking.
Right.
It connects with people. There'll be other things that connect, but you always will do that kind of content, and you will do text content or audio content or a podcast, or you'll film a YouTube video that with a set and this and that, or you'll do a in the moment short. You'll do all of these pieces of content and see what resonates with the audience that you're trying to reach. But you have to make the content, and that making of the content means don't do the same. If it's not working, if something isn't working, that's your signal to, hey, let me try something else. Let me try the in the car, walking the dog, faceless. Faceless is working now. Or they have a point of view where people are working on the computer and they show the computer screen and they talk. Or they have a overlay, or like what's her name, Saunders, like her
Yeah.
set is her sneakers and she's talking, and then she has video, she has overlay, and she does audio stuff and she does editing stuff. See, all of
Yeah.
that works, but you got to try something.
Oh, so I hear you say you just got to get out there.
You have to make a piece of content. And I think, and like I said, I always I have tons of ideas for content. I just haven't put them out. And I'm like, a lot of people are in that mode of, I need, what do I put out? Or I'm not sure, but I have it. I just haven't had the time to do it because it needs to be perfect. I think everybody's stuck in that. It has to be perfect, or I don't want to look bad. But some people are making content and reaching an audience with content where they are not wearing makeup, where they are not wearing a this, or they're not dancing. Remember I said that years ago about you didn't have to dance if that's not your thing? Well, here we are. A
You
lot of
don't.
people don't want to dance. Right?
No, this is good stuff.
Mark Ward says, as Mark Ward said, I use animation always. My voice, I cannot pretend that they're a big hit by I enjoy it. See, but what I'm saying is for you to keep doing that, and then you look at the analytics of it, and then you could tweak something to where maybe it's animation but something else, or maybe it's your voice and something else. You see what I'm saying? It's you don't have to do a wide swing to something else. But what I'm saying is to investigate and tweak for something that is of the moment. And how do you tell what the trend is? Here's the thing with TikTok. It may not be around or whatever, but there's YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
And
So
just take a look at what people are doing.
So I was going to ask Mark Ward, are you getting better results doing what you do now? Because I see his animation come out, and it's really good because it's short and to the point as well.
Right.
So is that working better for you, Mark?
Yeah, let us know. And then speaking of YouTube, I was just thinking about YouTube Shorts when because I watched this guy, and he's done like little skit things where it was him and his dog sitting on the couch or in the garage or something, and he talks to the dog and whatever, and then there's an overlay and different things, but that connects because he's got an animal. Then I saw another person that they show their apartment, or they're doing laundry, or they're cooking, or they're coming in with the groceries, but they would do an overlay of a story. I'm trying to think of it. It's and he does it by connecting with, remember when you was a kid and did, or this community always does this, or your mom when you was a kid, your mom blah 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 blah. And he does things where everybody goes, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but it's him in his apartment like doing things. Just he's sitting on the couch, or he's rearranging something, or he's in the kitchen making cereal, that kind of slice. I call it a slice of life kind of content.
Hmm.
And let me see real quick if I can get it, if I can find it real quick. Did Mark have a
Yeah, Mark says, am I getting better results? And he says, not really, not so far. I'm just seeing him more.
mm-hmm.
I'm noticing it more, um, especially on YouTube, because I think YouTube will serve you up to people. That
Yes.
sounds so interesting.
Okay. I was trying to see if the shorts would come up, but it's not of the guy. I might have to look online. YouTube.com, because I'm not seeing any of the shorts. And then I haven't watched any of those shorts in a while, only because I was consciously not trying to click on it, because a lot of my YouTube mobile stuff is a lot of political stuff. So now I gotta train my YouTube excuse me, I gotta train my YouTube mobile to show me more of the stuff that I like. Because if you watch something news related on YouTube
It'll
and you
start
come back,
bringing,
they're like, "Oh, you want more of that?" And I'm like, "Okay, I gotta tell it. I was just checking out a news story. I don't want no more of that."
right.
Like
You
the guy
are
in
the,
the White House. I don't want no more of that stuff. So
mm-mm. You
stop
are
showing
the
it to me.
algorithm. I
Right. So
was
I
like,
was like,
wow.
stop showing me that stuff. I gotta tell you, YouTube, don't send me any more of that stuff. So I real quick, I'm just trying to see the shorts. I'm not now when I want to see shorts, I'm not seeing any.
Oh, you
Oh, here
mean
we
it on
go.
your,
So I get so I if I watch the Jennifer Hudson Spirit Tunnel, have you guys heard of that? Jennifer Hudson show, her
yeah, where
staffers
people
when the
come
stars,
down the,
when they come out, they come down the hall. It's called a Spirit Tunnel, and they sing a song about the celebrity. So I'm getting a lot of that. Um, I don't see the short that I want. And then because of the unfortunate plane crash in DC, I found a pilot that explains what happened. So he's an actual pilot, like he flies right now. So he has a YouTube channel, and then I see his shorts, and then he's done a go with me flight check, and I thought that was really interesting because he really explained what happened in that accident, and the second one in Philadelphia. Like he did real world explanation as a non-pilot. We're non-pilots, but he's a pilot. So I subscribed to his channel because I was like, he was really good with that. But now I don't want to see any more of that. So now I'm not gonna unsubscribe from him because he's very entertaining. I just was like, okay, that's news of the moment. So I really don't want to see any more about the. That's one of the thing about YouTube. Is like, okay, now I got to tell it not to show me anymore
oh, you like
Washington
this?
D.C. stuff. Hmm?
You like this? We'll send you more. Oh,
I'm like,
hey,
I don't want to see any more of that. I don't want to see any more about the plane crashes because it's like, hey, you was watching that. Oh, because it was a news story, YouTube, and I wanted more information. Now it's like, the news story has kind of, moved on to other things. So I'm like, don't show me. So I gotta tell it that. But the thing about today is, I want you to think about your purpose, and also that is part of your branding, which is, remember, it's not your logo, it's not, a lot of people spend time on a business card and designing a website, and those things you can do when you have a moment. Just get something out. Doesn't have to be perfect, because you have to have a, this is my website, this is my this, but you can work on it as you go along. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. It just needs to be a presence. So once you have those things in place, you want to think about your branding of, what is my messaging? What purpose am I serving? That helps you fine tune your strategy and fine tune your content to where you're making the right kind of content. You're not doing all, and remember, I was saying about the right kind of content, you kind of have to do all of it first to to fine tune it down with analytics and say, oh, my audience likes text. Oh, my audience likes a reel. Oh, my audience likes a blog, whatever that piece of content is. You have to put it out more to figure out what it is, and then you pull back and do more of the one type of thing, or two types if you're lucky. They might like two types, but you're not going to find your way out of the forest of all this content if you're not putting out the breadcrumbs and saying, hey, this is what we got to do. So it all ties into purpose. And I'm going to talk more about the branding aspect of everything, because I feel like that is like the biggest umbrella of it. And again, it's not about being McDonald's or Nike or Starbucks, because these corporations have been in it for years. They have departments, and they have PR, and they have special people, they have psychologists, they have marketing specialists that know how to do all that. So we've got to try to figure it out for ourselves on a small business level. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So
so
I
what
had
I
some
hear
more
you
stuff,
say,
but let's
I, I hear you saying we need to be good at whatever it is that we do, and then we'll be known for it once we put it out, right?
yes.
Uh, Go ahead and get it out there
Yeah.
and
So
be
I mean,
known for that thing.
right. And if I want to, this might lead into part two. And this is what the title of it was, like, why every piece of content should serve a purpose. So we need to keep that in mind. That might be the thing we talk about next week.
I think so, because Gary V gave away something I'll share with you if you want to.
Yeah, let's hear it. If you
Uh,
have time, I have time.
Gary V gave away a content. What does it say? I need to go look it up. I'm not going to try and. It's a 47 pages that will change your entire marketing organization and approach.
Mm-hmm.
And it is,
Is this his
uh,
PowerPoint deck that he talked about?
yeah,
Yeah, he put
day
this out a
trading
while ago.
attention.
I think it's in his latest book. He put this out a while ago. Excuse me.
And it's
And
day trading attention.
yes,
It's
it's in
what
his
you're
book. Mm-hmm.
it's talking about what you're talking, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
You want to put the link in the chat for? Sorry, my voice is.
I don't know how well.
Oh,
I think I got it because I went to his
I think he was giving out a URL.
yeah.
He was giving out a link at one of his videos and one of his speeches or something. He was like, "Oh, go to so and so," but it is it's a PowerPoint deck that
It
he had
was
put together about what you need to do, how you make your content, like how he makes his content.
I think it was GaryV.com/attention. Let me see if that's it.
That could be it. But he put this out. I'm trying to remember. It's been at least 2 or 3 years before the book, but he put it in the book. Day training attention. He made it a standalone URL, and you can go to it.
Yeah,
And
some I have
it's
that.
pretty much his content strategy.
So we can come back and talk about that because
Yeah.
serving the
Okay.
purpose,
Yeah. So we'll talk
you'd be
about.
surprised about how he does. I think that is it. I put the
Yeah.
link in the chat.
Mm. I bet y'all are too long. My voice is cracking. We were talking
And I
about that
put links
before
in
the
the
show.
private chat for you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we'll continue this branding umbrella because it's really the place where you need to start about serving a purpose, the purpose of content, and things like that. Because it will lead you on the path to
Right.
going to where things happen the way you need them to happen.
Cool. So, with that in mind, we invite you to connect with Terry by going to terryjohnsononline.com/info so that you can get connected and ask questions. Get she's got some great tools and things that she'll tell you about. Um, but you need somebody that you can connect with. That we were talking about this at First Mondays last night. You get to see the person that you're working with, and you don't have to wonder if, okay, are they going to be okay for me? Because TJ comes every Tuesday giving us valued information, and so you can feel safe to connect with her. So let's do that. Reach out to terryjohnsononline.com/info. Get connected. And then I'm sure she's got some things coming down the pike that's going to help you. Um, and if you want to be a part of the Bizchicks community, you can do that too. You can text biz to 33777 or go to bizchicks.net. However, you get connected, we are here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so you can build a profitable business that's actually fun to run. TJ and I will be back on Friday for Tech Life Weekly. And then again next Tuesday. Coach Karen is coming up tomorrow. And we look forward to seeing you again real soon. So enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you for your comments and insights. We're looking forward to the cookie report from Dr. Tachi on location. Okay.
Yes, I'm interested in that. And also, I'm on every platform, Terry Johnson Online.
Yep.
So find me there too. Thank you, everybody, for the conversation, for the comments, and we're going to continue this conversation.
Yeah, this is going to be good. And let us know how you are doing, how you're serving a purpose with your content. We definitely are interested. All right, we will see you next time. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.